Hello, YouTube.
Hello and welcome back to Good Game Nation, where we bring you everything TCG. Say hello to all the smiling faces out there.
Hello, everybody. We're back, and there was so much today through the One Piece presentation. So much stuff today.
An incredible long drop of an hour and 25 minutes
Mm,
that was just packed full of like 30 cards or something. I don't know.
tons.
There's so many new cards to talk about. There's not enough time in the day to go into each one, so we picked out a few for you guys. We'll hit you with the highlights and let us know what you think so far.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and pull this up. Everything that they released is on the Twitter. They dropped everything for the red and the purple deck. That's all on the Twitter, One Piece Twitter. It is down in the descriptions. Give that a follow. They're always up to date, updating us with new cards, new things, new events. So give them a follow. If you're looking for translation for all the cards, they're on the Discord. They are so fast, so quick. They're ever growing. Give it a follow if you're trying to get into this community now. This is everything that's going to be in the Luffy starter deck. We have all the cards. They're all right here. We have the same for the Kaido deck, and all of them are going to be in the Discord and on the Twitter.
Yeah, everything's been translated, so you can actually go into Tabletop Simulator. I think they have a mod for Tabletop Simulator in the
Yep,
Discord,
looks it.
as well as they've been manually adding stuff on Untap. So you can actually play red versus purple full decks in Untap now.
Yep.
Um,
Let us know if
I
you want to see us play. Maybe we should. That should be the next.
absolutely
I think we should play now. I'm excited. Um,
we have a chance.
Preston is absolutely right. We cannot talk about, or this would be a 2 hour video, and then it'd just be us just excited about everything. So we picked out a couple cards that we really want to talk about. One of the cards in the red Steam deck that I was really excited about was the Diable Jambe event card. It's the one down here next to the Sunny. It is main. Choose one of your leaders or characters with the Straw Hat Crew trait. During this turn, that when that character or leader attacks your opponent, cannot activate blocker, and then it kills a one cost or three less blocker. I believe that's the correct
As a
terminology.
trigger effect. Yeah,
As a trigger effect, that is the trigger effect. Yes, I think
yeah.
this card has a ton of versatility. Event cards and slash spell cards or whatever game you came from to play. There's always new ones, so it's really hard to say which ones are going to stay in the meta. But out of the ones we've seen so far, I would say this is probably one of the stronger ones. It's very cheap. Costing one makes it really easy to slide into your plays. And not being able to activate one of your opponent's blockers is huge. We've seen some really good blockers. Like I'm gonna keep talking about Queen. That's a card you should expect to see if you're playing against purple. This card really helps that matchup with Queen get in that extra damage. So this is
Yeah,
a card I'm excited for.
yeah, we're seeing a lot of blockers come out and strong blockers too, like high power blockers. So
Absolutely.
it's really nice to be able to say you can't use your resource on board.
Yep, I agree.
The other card that I wanted to talk about is the Nami,
Wow.
which is activate main once per turn, equipped one of your rested Dawn to a leader or character card. It also has
Ooh.
counter, but the main thing for me is a one cost uh, character that's going to be moving Dawn. So our Luffy leader is going to be able to do that also. That's going to open up a lot of plays as a one drop to be on board and maybe open up some options for making other cards better that may not have looked so good so far.
He's absolutely right. We talked about the Sanji, and that card helps the Sanji, work. It's a one cost, which is really nice to be able to play something on your turn one. It also has counter, so even late game when you might not need to play the Nami, it's always good to buff that stay alive a little longer. So this card throughout the game hypothetically should always have strong value, which is so important in a card game, making sure every card is relevant at every stage of the game. And out of the cards in the Steam Deck, I think the Nami probably has the best chance to move on to other leaders, other decks, stuff like that, because it's not limited to straw hats, it's anything like that. It just says activate main once per turn.
Yeah.
So it definitely has. It's probably like I said, out of all these cards, it definitely has the best chance to move on from deck to deck to deck.
Yeah, it definitely has staying power in an evolving meta for sure.
Absolutely. All right.
Uh, let's move to the purple cards that we wanted to talk about.
Boom. This is the Kaido deck. Like I said, all of the effects are going to be in the Discord. I think we're just going to talk about the Onigashima. I know a lot of people were talking about the Sunny. They weren't really, Mazed by the Sunny. Monigashima, I think, is the complete opposite. It says activate main. It's a 3 cost card. You may rest this card if your leader has the Animal Kingdom Pirate trait. Add 1 Dawn card from your Dawn deck to your cost area. So this is basically just a ramp card. It's letting you accelerate faster. This makes sense since a lot of the purple cards are very heavy hitters. 9 cost, 10 cost. The King and Queen are high as well. So it's important to have this ramp. And the really cool thing about the ramp is, it's gonna move around different colors. So purple's gonna be one of those ones to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and that's the kind of the point I was thinking of is the purple ramp cards. There's a lot of different ones that have come out for in the starter deck that are like on play, move a
Yep.
card to your cost area, a Dawn to your cost. And that's going to be really good to splash those in other leaders in purple.
Yep.
Um, which makes a good point to say that the Kaido leader from the starter deck might not be the best purple leader we get, and all of these cards could go into a better leader that
Yep.
can use it better. Because having a -7 effect that you might get to use once isn't going to be as good as like the Luffy leader that every turn he can make a difference. Um, and with ramp, you're going to want to try to make a difference each turn with every card, and your leader is going to be a pillar for that.
Totally agree. If there's, I'm assuming there's another purple leader, right? There are 2 more purple leaders we're going to see in the set. If any of those have any kind of stall factor, any kind of defensive abilities, it's going to make this deck just very potent. Just being able to get you to those 9, 6 drop cards. Onigashima might not be able to transfer because it specifically says um, Kingdom Pirates, Animal Kingdom Pirates. But I believe the Jack, I believe there's another card as well. I believe there's a few purple cards that ramp.
Yeah.
These cards are definitely ones to keep an eye on. These are cards to get early sets of, because like the Nami, these are cards that are gonna keep moving on from set to set to set. So because these are always things that are gonna keep the game going, keep the purple meta going.
Absolutely. Yeah. And another big thing that they did is they released, was it 6 new cards?
6 new cards. The next tweet, they show us
Yeah.
the leader cards that we went over in the last video. It's
Yep.
right. It's right here.
Yeah.
And then we have this beautiful looking kid card.
Yeah. And this is 7 drops 7K. When Dawn ×1, when your turn ends, switch this card to active, and he also has blocker. So blocker on your opponent's turn, he's able to swing at 8,000 with that 1 Dawn, and then restand himself at the end of turn so that he can then defend you. Super cool, super exciting to see. Uh, I'm really liking what I'm seeing out of green. Like purple, we kind of expected. Like we started seeing stuff like, okay, it's purple, it's going to be powerful. Green just sounds amazing so far.
It's really tough because purple is really exciting since we have so much for purple. And ramp is, if red is rush and purple is ramp, ramp is a very scary.
Absolutely.
Any game that I've played, ramp is always a threat. So I always expect purple to be in the meta. Um, the other kid as well was very interesting, and this kid is able to restand. Is such staying power. It's very hard to remove this card because everything I think I've seen is remove 4 cost or less or 6K or less, and Kid is missing all of these removes so far. So this card is gonna be very difficult to remove from the board, other than the Kaido. The Kaido we're gonna get to later, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't think anything else can remove this guy. Um, so he's just going to be one of those cards that I think is going to be very exciting to see how he shapes the meta himself.
Mhm.
Then the next card is going to be the crocodile. There's the crocodile leader, and then the
Yep.
crocodile himself. Great art. I love. I love when the cards break the borders, and it's kind of like breaking that fourth wall a little bit. But the
Yeah.
crocodile has blocker as well. I think all the kind of crocodiles we've seen so far has blocker. Same thing with the kids. Blocker, Dawn ×1. When blocking, return up to one of your opponent's cost 2 or lower characters to the bottom of the deck. So he has a built-in compulsion. He's bouncing
Yeah.
cards to the bottom of the deck. This is very board control. This is absolutely great. This is a wonderful card.
Yeah, and we're seeing that in blue with uh what we're going to see of the warlords, right? And we're seeing mini crocodiles with blocker, and we're seeing him with some control factor. So it's really cool to get some new stuff because all we've seen is red and purple, or if you're looking at the art, all red. So it's nice to get those green cards that we're finally getting a bit of the flavor of what they're going to be.
Absolutely.
And this is a 5 cost, so it's going to come turn 3, right?
Yeah.
Or yeah, around turn 3.
Yep.
Uh, and if you're returning cards on the, like, you could return choppers so they don't have their blockers anymore.
Yep.
I think purple has blockers at low cost too.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would imagine all colors do, and I like to think about matchups as well. I think red has a better matchup into purple because I think rush always generally has a better matchup into ramp. But if ramp gets there, it obviously wins. But I think when you look at blue versus red, stuff like this crocodile absolutely ruins that. Like you lose your board control. You have to actually invest a lot to get over this crocodile, and even if you do have the power to attack it, he can still buff and then still bounce something. So
right.
it's very tough. Like this card has a lot of staying power, just like that kid. It is 6K, so I know there are stuff that can take it out. But red, I don't think has that. So stuff like this turns matchups. Things makes it very interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
the next post is again we got some on top of all the wonderful news, all the presentation. We got new cards as well, and again all translated. This is Cavendish. He's going to be red. I think we expected all of Luffy's allies to be red.
Mhm.
This one is a 4 drop 5K. I believe that's slasher. And on play, you may return one of your life cards to your hand. This character gains brush.
Super cool. I'm such a big fan of taking damage to your life to gain effects. I played the blue Vegeta leader in Dragon Ball Super,
Hmm.
where you got to take those lives and gain it was critical, right?
Yep.
Which is brutal
Broken.
in this game.
Yep.
And it's such a cool effect. I don't know how many of these you're gonna run, but I could see people running like hard and strong and with Cavendish. Super cool to be able to take life, get that extra hand advantage, and then be able to attack that same turn. Super cool.
Yeah, it's just Reds rush, throw it, shove it all down your face. It's just power, 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 and this card just accentuates that. I think this card is way better than the Sanji that we've seen. I know the Nami makes the Sanji much more exciting, but if you don't have the Nami, at least Cavendish can do it on his own. And it
Exactly.
costs 4. I like it. It's yeah, I think it's a good card. It's exciting,
We'll drop 5K, so
solid,
it's
solid.
really nice. This
Then
is
we
a
have
law. He is a blocker. On play, you may return one of your character cards to your hand. Play one cost 3 or lower character from your hand. It's really interesting because you're going to return a card to your hand as cost, and then if it's already a card that is 3 or lower, you could probably replay it. That's how like timing's going to work, right? So if there's a lot of on play effects in green, you have that ability. Or if you attack with something and you want to bring that card back out, you can attack with like get a second attack out of a card. It's
right.
pretty versatile. I think you can find some shenanigans with this card.
No, absolutely, and I think I like that this card is a law card. Of all the characters that are going to have shenanigans, it's absolutely going to be law. And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of really creative things you could do with this card. There's a colon that separates this, so I believe the timing doesn't work. I don't think you can play the same card that you return. However, you are absolutely right. You could attack with a card, play law, return the card that you attacked with to play another one. I think that's really cool because you protect the card you obviously did with. And if there are later on if this card leaves the field effects that would trigger, if there are, and then you would play another on play effect. Green has so much versatility right now. It's a very exciting color. It's the color that's attracting me the most, that's for sure.
Right.
There's just so much you can do with this law. I'm not incredibly impressed with its power. I think 5K, 6K, 5 cost 6K is very weak. I think we expected law not to be super expensive, strength wise, but I do notice this card is super rare, right? That says SR.
So yeah, it might be starter deck. I can't see it from
It's
here, but
tough. Yeah, it's
it
tough.
might be one of the starter deck two ofs or one ofs.
Maybe, maybe. But it is the OPL 147, so I believe this is from the set.
Maybe, yeah.
This might be
That's
one of our first super rares. Actually, I didn't notice that when we were first going over it. Very
right.
exciting. The Cavendish was a common. I noticed that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think the
cool.
next one that we talk about is okay. This one's common. I
Sur-
just checked it.
Surprise, Alvida,
Right.
we get her post time skip look, I guess. 2 cost, 3K. I think it's puncher. What's the word? Bludgeon. What's the word we're looking for?
I don't know what they're using at
Fist.
this
It's
point.
fist.
Yeah.
Avita, Dawn times one. When attacking, you may discard one card from your hand, return one of your opponent's 3 cost or lower characters to your hand. Then it also has the counter plus 2,000. Now, we've gone over a lot of cards. You know, they're very splashable. I think you play one or two of those laws. You probably don't play a ton. Um, the Cavendish, again, one or two. I think this is a card, depending on what the blue looks like, is you can play four of. I think this card's very good. Counter plus 2,000, like I said, makes the card good for the entirety of the game. Because this card, obviously, when you play it, it's only going to be good early. But when it attacks, you can bounce cards. Very threatening, very potent. It aligns with the crocodile. It's very annoying. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Blue is very annoying so far, and this card definitely fits that genre.
Yeah, it's a field control,
Yeah,
good presence.
annoying.
Uh, I do agree. I think this is a three or four of
Yep.
because of that 2K counter. A lot of the cards that we've seen so far are 1K counter,
Or none.
uh, or none at all.
Hmm.
Exactly. So having a few different things that you can do with it, 2 cost makes it pretty cheap to get it on board and moving early,
Right.
and taking advantage of it late possibly to clear the board before going all in with a big attack is super impressive. So I do agree. It's a four, probably three or four of.
Yeah, I agree. And another interesting about the card is it's something you have to react to because if you leave it on the board, it's just going to be an absolute nightmare. Same thing with the crocodile. That's just
Mhm.
probably something that's going to be blue going forward, I would guess.
Yeah, constantly being able to take away from your field presence is
Yep.
annoying.
Yep. You have to react to it, and that sucks because if you have
Yep.
the crocodile there to block, you're not going to be able to get rid of this girl.
Right.
Very, very unfortunate. And
Yeah.
then I think the card everyone wants to get into, it all, kind of also has that SR. So I think we're looking at some
I
super
think
rares here.
oh, yeah, that was a good
Um,
pitch.
which is probably a good call because this Kaido's nasty.
Disgusting. Yeah, absolutely.
The Kaido is on play, -7. If your leader has Animal Kingdom pirate traits, KO all the characters on the, other than this one. It is a 10 cost, 12K.
Yeah, that's a monster. It's the highest cost card that we've seen so far. I think it's by far the strongest cost card that we've seen so far.
Do we mistranslate it? It says -7, but it looks like the card says -6.
Oh, it might be -6. I think
Oops, -6, guys. My bad.
yeah, that's something I think
Oopsie.
they caught after the fact. But still,
Yeah, I think that's great.
-6 makes it a little bit better because we've seen -7 being the Kaido leader card,
Right.
um, taking a life, and this is going to clear the board. It clears your side of the board too, but you're swinging with a 12K at that point. It's a big go in, try to win, and after this turn, you can still play the queen. I think that was something you were talking about, just falling in love with the queen card.
Oh,
The next turn, you're playing a queen and being able to keep your turn going, or all the other ramp cards, and come back from that huge -6.
absolutely.
And the art is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just goes to lead off, but the art is absolutely wonderful. I love the purple. I love that it's off to the border. Wonderful. So there's a couple things that I think this card's interesting because when I look at the law, I think the law has a ton of value going into future sets. I think the cards like that, it's only going to get better with more cards, more on play effects, more remove effects. The law definitely only gets better. This Kaido is interesting because it says specifically that your leader has to be Animal Kingdom pirates.
Mhm.
Um, how many more Kaidos are we going to see after this? You know what I mean? Are
Yeah, are we
we
gonna get a queen or yeah, are we gonna actually get a queen leader or someone other than Kaido? Who
or are we
knows?
just gonna go into another arc and maybe get like a, a big mom leader, you know? So I wonder
Right.
how much beast
How
pirates we're
useful.
gonna see after this
Right.
because this spoiler, we know what the second set is.
Right. Yeah,
I
that's coming.
don't think we're gonna see many beast pirates there. So this is a card that I think is very important for the ramp deck. You need to be able to ramp to something that's gonna give you an even playing field because your red matchup is going to have a ton of little nuisances on the board that you need to
Yeah.
be react to. So you get to the king, you get to the Kaido, you play the Kaido, and the next setup turn should let you play the queen, which is I think that's a great one turn two turn combo. Um, I'm excited for this card, but I wonder how this card gets better later on. I don't know if it does, so that's something
Right.
to watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But those are the four cards. Absolutely exciting. Those cards are all wonderful cards. I don't know how you pick a least favorite there. And the
Yeah.
next thing that we are going to get into is that we have what the next starter deck slash set's going to be.
Yeah.
They did talked about it a little bit on stream. We are looking at the next theme deck, which is Theme Deck 6. Theme Deck 5 will be the film deck we have very little information of. They said the word, I think you caught it, you said Stampede. So we're
Yes.
expecting it to be movie related. It's definitely going to be based on the Red film. So when
Yeah.
we have information, we'll drop that. But they did say that this was the sixth starter deck here. It says right there. Navy.
Yeah, that's super cool. I think a lot of people have been looking forward to seeing what they do with the Marines. We might get the Marines as their own color, so
Hopefully,
we're missing, I think, orange and a white or orange and a black. Um,
white would be perfect for them, right?
yeah, I think so. So we're in the cards. You see that there's a possible six colors in the bottom. Uh,
The
they're
website.
most likely gonna to take one of those. Yeah, the website. When you scroll through, you see the colors, and orange is one of them. Um, so they'll probably get their whole own color for their starter deck, and then they're probably getting a lot of support in this set two box.
Absolutely.
So
And here it is right here. It's the second booster set. This is getting released in Japan the 28th, and it's called Crest Battle, but I believe that translates. What does it translate for us?
Summit War
Summit
or
War. So we're probably getting
yeah,
a little Marine forward.
yeah,
So that's super exciting. We're gonna get probably an Akaino leader. Gonna get a Kuzan. Gonna get a Kizaru. Wonderful characters that people I know they want to see. So very
yeah,
very exciting.
yeah. And in the Summit War, we'll probably get a uh, Whitebeard leader. We'll probably
Ooh,
get
an Ace
um,
leader.
any Ace card would be nice because I know everyone's waiting for Ace.
How we don't have an
Uh,
Ace yet? How has there been no Ace reveals? That's so frustrating.
But yeah, set two is going to be super cool. I'm super excited to get into the Summit War because I think that's probably one of the better arcs that people are going to enjoy playing cards from. There's so many characters there that they're not going to be wanting for their favorite character, I think. So,
Absolutely.
oh my, I just keep thinking of the different characters that are going to be showing up and what color they could possibly be, and it's just fantastic to theorize
We're
about.
limitless. The next thing they showed on the presentation was the learning app.
Yeah.
They went over it really quickly. They didn't show us a ton, but they did give us this really cool couple screenshots um, just to what the game looks like. This looks like Hearthstone when you play it on your phone, honestly. It looks just like it. It looks gorgeous. It looks like it runs very smoothly. They did say that it's just going to be a teaching app right now. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we can play virtually. That would be a
Mhm.
wonderful feature considering the health climate and COVID, and a lot of other games are done digitally right now. So that would be wonderful if that was a feature. But right now, it's a learning app, but it does look like this app is going to be wonderful.
Yeah, it looks full featured, and
Yep.
I feel like it would be a shame not to open it as like Duel Links or
Yeah. Hearthstone.
Pokemon Online,
Yeah.
Hearthstone. Magic has its own like I don't know if Magic's mobile, but it's on console, right? So there's a lot of on like digital card games going right now, and I think it would be a shame to miss out on this opportunity to be able to play on your phone on the train or on in the
Yeah,
bus or something like
whatever,
that.
wherever you want to play. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope that later on that will be the thing. And the last thing at the very end of that presentation, guys, by the way, is linked down below. They do play a match that is also a separate video. Will be down below, so check that
Full
out, guys.
match.
Check
Yeah,
that
full
out.
match with lots of information. You can catch the way the game is played. I
Yep,
think it was pretty clear, and they tried to introduce each card as they played them. So if you are following along on the Discord, you can follow along with the effects that are being played because everything is already revealed.
absolutely.
And
And
then there's this. Oh my goodness.
this
Holy
guy.
moly.
It's really hard to gauge what this guy is because in the tweet they talk about it's going to be limited and it's going to be for tournament souvenirs. This could be for large tournaments. This could be for your local gaming stations as price support. We don't know that detail yet. We'll know more soon. They said they would announce that at a later date. But it does at the top, really interesting. It does say 1 out of 300, so there's probably going to be a lot of these guys. And this is a collector's dream. This card looks great.
It's
Um,
gorgeous. I imagine every one of the light spots is just going to be glowing with holofoil. And yeah, like you said, a collector's dream to get a hold of some of these.
We didn't talk about it. Is this the base leader?
I don't know. I think it
I
is.
think it is
I
too.
haven't
No one
been.
talked about a new effect, so I'm assuming this is base leader Luffy. But either way, the card's gorgeous. So, reach out to your local tournament places that are going to hold it. Get involved, guys, because you're going to get cards like this. All your promos are going to be through your locals. I don't think this is going to be a big tournament. I'm gonna be honest. I think this looks like a tournament pack kind of kind of card. So just reach out, see what your local gaming center is going to be holding.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a gorgeous card. No matter where it goes,
Absolutely.
uh, it's really just a cool way to end a video with
Absolutely.
this gorgeous new like limited card. So
Yeah, the presentation could have ended right there at the end of showing the teaching app, and we would have been just satisfied. But they're like, you know what? Here's this beautiful Luffy.
yeah, just keep laying it in.
Thank you,
Super cool.
thank you, Oda. And I think that's it. That is the quick summary for the presentation. Let us know in the comments what your favorite card is. There's we're getting a lot of little from blue and green, a lot of hype there. Um, Let us know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know in the comments what your favorite card is. Are you leaning red or purple right now? Or do the few cards that are blue
Green,
and green, right?
green.
More exciting than the entire starter decks that we've seen so far. So
Absolutely.
I'm leaning green too. So
I
purple
like
is really nice. I like ramp, but like you said, it could be too slow to
It's tough. I like
too big too
versatility too. I
slow.
like being able to compete with. I like my matchups being very even. I like being able to do that. So it's very, we'll see more when we get more, and we'll know more.
Absolutely.
But thank you guys for watching. If you like the video, leave a like. If you want to see more TCG content, make sure to subscribe. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye bye.